hello, video request, video request. I'm going to do this one later because I wanted to watch a couple of videos to know whether or not spying was unconstitutional. I'm not going to do this one. Public transportation, because I did it like 7 months ago. But okay, Love and Light Land. Video request. How do you think the legalization of marijuana may affect how the habits of those who are using it are perceived? It seems like those who use it once a month could be labeled as a pothead with the old stigma of it hanging around. Do you think there will be more moderation of its use as the perception of marijuana and marijuana users change? What would you consider a reasonable amount of as moderation? It kind of seems like there have always been potheads and those who aren't potheads. End of story. Thanks. Interesting question. Interesting request. So what do you think the legalization of marijuana may affect the habits of those who are using it are perceived? It's going to be perceived as, it's going to do wonders. It's going to be perceived as just something totally cool and normal. Right now, people fucking hate stoners, dude. Like, if you're a stoner with a lot of, like, the rich people who are in power, you're basically like 1/3 of a human being. You know, like, they won't respect you for shit. And it doesn't matter how smart you are and what you do. Like me, you know, I could go into, like, hang out with, like, CEO of some multinational corporation, some motherfucker who makes, like, $5 million a year and thinks he's all badass. I could talk to him for an hour about my timeline. You know, I could lecture him forever, and then I could be like, and then he could go to my website and see, like, one video of me, like, doing a vlog stone, and then that's the only thing he's going to think about. I'll be like, that stoner, oh, that idiot, that more. You know, like, I started doing vlogs again. I was a little bit high a couple months ago, and I got all these comments. You loser, stoner loser. Ah. Well, it's because it's illegal, dude. Once it becomes illegal, all of a sudden, all these people are going to be like, oh, okay, well, legal now. Laws make a huge difference, man. Huge. Once it's legal, you know, if you say somebody's a loser for being a stoner, you're just an asshole. And you're going to know it, and everybody's going to know it. You're not going to say it because it'll make you an asshole. If it's illegal, it's fair game on those stoners, man. So, yeah, dude, it's going to be like night and day. I'm telling you, night and day. People are going to, like in Netherlands is the perfect example. Marijuana is totally legal there. Well, only 5% of the population claim to have ever smoked it in their entire life. I think that's bullshit. I don't know why they're lying, but Dutch are not stoners, dude. You go to Amsterdam, the people who are high are the tourists. You smell it in the air all the time. It's the tourists who are high. You look at a Dutch person, you know, asking for directions or whatever, they're not high. They're stone cold sober. Dude, I mean, being a stoner is like a genetic thing. You're either a stoner or you're not. Like what you said, you're either a stoner or you're not. That's a genetic thing. Some people smoke weed, they don't like it. Other people don't smoke weed and they do. You know? It's like you're either gay or you're straight. You know? There's nothing you can do about it. So, and so whether it's legal or not, you're either a stoner or not. It doesn't have anything to do with whether it's legal or not. And that's why people are not stoners in Netherlands. And you said, like, let's see, well, let me just go down. It seems like those who use it once a month could be labeled as a pothead and the old smear hang you around. Yeah, oh yeah, you use it once a month, like me. You're a fucking loser stoner. But yeah, it'll change for sure. I mean, you know, if you go to Netherlands, I went there in '97 to Rotterdam, and I was like, asked some old lady, I was like, where's the pot place? She's like, oh, right down there, down the way. You know, because it's legal. If I were to say that in America, they'd be like, in fact, I did. I was in Moab once. Hey, you know where to get it? I don't know where to get that shit, you loser. You know, it's like horns out of your head. Yeah, so. Now, what would you consider a reasonable amount moderation? Moderation would be if it doesn't, like, get in your bones, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, like, affecting the way you think, like, you're not lethargic. It hasn't burned out all of the endorphins in your brain. And in order to burn out all the endorphins in your brain and to suck all the sugar out of your blood, you would have to get high more than once a day. If you get high one time a day, you could do it every day and you'll be fine. If you get high twice a day, you're fucked. Now, as far as now, that's my level. That's which is pretty average. I'd say I'm about average. So that's because some people can smoke it all the time and doesn't mean shit. Some person gets high once and then for 3 days they're lethargic. But for your average person, I would say you get high once a day, you're cool. You get high twice a day, like once in the morning and once in the afternoon. You're redlining it. You get high 3 times a day, every day. Good luck accomplishing anything, unless you're doing one thing that you're totally obsessed about, like me. I could be high all the time. I could smoke 10 times a day, and I do a kick-ass job. But I do a kick-ass job at one thing, and that's my timeline. Nothing else. So a reasonable amount would be like once a day for your average person. And actually, that would be too much, I think. Yeah, once a day. Well, it actually is a little bit heavy. I'd say reasonable amount where it doesn't, affect your thinking or your blood sugar or your lungs. I would say like once every 4 days. Yeah. Yeah, like me, I have lung problems. If I didn't have lung problems, I'd do it every day. With my lung problems, once it's legal, once the Nazis legalize it, I'll, who knows, dude? I can't wait to find out. I mean, we need to find this stuff out. You know what's ridiculous? It's all these Nazis, they don't want to legalize weed anywhere in the world. It's like, well, that's not science. That's like superstition. Like, how the fuck are we going to find out how useful marijuana is medically if we can't do any tests on it? It's illegal to do tests. Now we're finally, rogue people are finally doing tests at the risks of their freedom. And they're finding out that weed's not that bad. There is a report, the Warren report or whatever, that Nixon did to try to find out if weed had any negative, they actually did a scientific experimentations on it to find out if it had negative effects, had no negative effects. He threw it away, decided to do the war on drugs anyway and do all the narcs and all that shit. Fucking psycho. But I think Nixon's my least favorite president. But where were we? Yeah, so, okay. It kind of seems like there have always been potheads. Yeah, and those are not potheads. Yeah, you're either a stoner or not. Okay, so yeah, once they look, most of the old ladies I know, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but most of the old ladies I know are fucking stoners. And this has gone back, way back. Most of the older people I know in Boulder are stoners. But Boulder also happens to be a really intelligent place, an athletic place, so it's like, what's the correlation? Like, how does it screw you up? It doesn't. It screws people up who aren't stoners, who love to hate. I just want to hate you, throw you in jail. So yeah, we need to legalize it, and it will be amazing. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to talk about is, yeah, for me, like once it's legal, how much am I going to smoke? Probably, it'll be like fits and spurts. Like I'll probably smoke like once a week, once a week every week and a half, I'll get high. My problem is if I have some weed, I'll smoke it. Although if it's legal, it's very possible that I could have weed and not smoke it. Like, I don't know, it could have a weird psychological effect on me, but see, I'm the kind of guy, if I have a bunch of popsicles in the fridge or alcohol, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to eat this popsicle, I'm going to eat the candy. I'm just going to consume it if it's here. It's probably the same way with weed. So I'll probably buy 10 grams, which would last me 1 gram for $10, which would last me like 3 or 4 days. And then I would not smoke for a week or two, and then I would smoke for 3 or 4 days. So I'd probably be high like 20 to 25% of the time, if it was up to me. But that would be smoking only the good stuff out of the vaporizer. And I'd be exercising, so my lungs would be able to not get too damaged by that. That's just a guess, though, because I haven't been allowed to do the scientific tests because the Nazis are so convinced that we're better off spending $40 billion a year throwing 500,000 hippies in jail for life. Yeah, psychos, psychopathic murderers, criminals. Well, it's mainly just they're morons. But interesting question, though. Thank you.